Hi, Virgo. Welcome or welcome back to one Virgo to another. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you've been well. Sorry, I have been MIA, but then again, probably you knew that because you've probably been busy too. So, quick messages. Let me get those out. Someone needs to finish up some paperwork. So, um, probably you've been busy getting some stuff started. So somebody's got some paperwork they need to get finished up. It could be related to um, starting school because somebody's doing that. Somebody's applying for some work that's got some tedious application um, deadlines. I'm getting or an extensive application that's due soon. So somebody needs to complete. They've maybe gotten it started and they've got it saved, but deadline's coming up, and you've got some stuff left to get done. Got some stuff left to submit. So don't forget about that. Somebody also has made some big ticket purchases. Maybe needs to look into um, additional insurance or maybe some insurance if it's not insured. I'm getting that. So those are, for whatever reason, the quick messages that I'm getting right now. So don't forget to check on that, Virgo. So, anyway, enough of the housekeeping. So, again, I'm still, of course, picking up on my divine feminines. So, welcome, empresses, queens, princesses, high priestesses. Um, Glad you're here. I hope you've been well. I know you've been busy. Um, so, talk to me in the comments and let me know if I'm on track to what's been going on with you. Um, just give me a heads up if I'm anywhere close to what's been going on. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I got distracted and flipped out a card. Something I'm not ready for just yet. So I've been talking about channeling the journey that many of us have been on, and that includes the bulk of us. Sorry about that. The journey oracle cards that came out today are number 18, return card, and number 45, ascendancy. It's unusual for two cards to actually come out from this deck for me. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with reading because remember the passages for these cards are very long. So just a quick, brief touch on what these cards represent. Number 18, which might mean something for you, number 45. Return actually talks about um, a full cycle, basically completion of something, and returning back to things that are familiar, where you have gone through a complete cycle, decided what is no longer serving you, putting that down, and coming back with new lessons learned and new processes. So it's like a complete cycle where you've learned new things, gotten rid of things that no longer serve you, and found new ways, new processes, and have come back home, so to speak, with new problem solving skills. We'll look at it that way. And then ascendancy kind of sort of speaks for itself. The card um, has the lotus flower. I think this card has come out not too in the not too distant past. The lotus flower, and it just speaks to exactly what it says. It too speaks to leaving things behind that no longer serve you and moving forward. We've talked about that many times um, in the recent past and very recent videos. We know that that has a lot to do with the planetary rebuilding, restructuring, and it has to do with restructuring, rebuilding what we are doing within ourselves and in our personal lives. Which is, again, I spoke to that before, has a lot to do with why it's happening more for um, feminine energy. And that has to do with why I'm being called to read a lot for divine feminine right now. Okay. Um, I just want to just real quick make sure that I'm covering all my bases on this card. So yeah, so this has to do with bringing in lessons learned and calling them to use in your everyday life in both of these cards. Okay. All right. We know that because we've talked about the karmic lessons that we've learned in all aspects of life, is specifically in romantic um, partnerships and how they keep playing out. Those energies won't go away, won't leave us alone, but those lessons learned, we've put them down, we've moved on. Um, so, yeah, and I think that this comes out as a reminder that we don't have to work in those old processes and deal in those old energies anymore, whether we've actually moved on into new relationships or not, or we have moved on into new ways of loving ourselves, self love, self care, um, and just focusing our energy on ourselves or in new places, putting that energy into family, into friends, into self, into businesses, into ascending, right? All right. So let's just tap in and see what else is going on with my divine feminine. What's going on with divine feminine? All right, so Wheel of Fortune comes out. You have strength and new beginnings, a new cycle, and the cycle restarts. And exactly what I'm talking about here, right? There's a lot of change going on, and we've put down some old habits and things that no longer serve us. You're believing in yourself, and you have courage to continue and move on. What else is going on, Virgo? Oh, wow, that's way, way, way too much. You also are looking at, yeah, you've been focused on your strength, your health. At some point, you have been a wounded warrior. You're not doing it anymore. You're focused on moving past all of that. There's great change. The bottom line is you're somebody else. You are a different person now, Virgo, like altogether completely. You're doing things different. You see life different. Everything is different. I'm going to rotate this a little bit, just a little bit, so you get more view of the cards. Okay. You're a different person now. There's been a huge shift in your mindset, and then there's been a huge growth. You have definitely ascended. What else is going on? Yeah, there's somebody new in your energy. There's a King of Swords in your energy. This individual thinks things through with precision, moves fast, and is cautious. This person's, well, some people see the King of Swords as kind of cutthroat. Um, some people think they think things through. Some people think they don't. Think they just move fast. Um, that they plan things that they do are by design. Um, Actually, there may be two people in your energy. There may be an emperor in your energy, Virgo. My divine feminine may have an emperor also in their energy. So, like, I mean, like, what do you do? You got a king and you got an emperor. And I mean, like it. So, if you think about the King of Swords and you see this individual as a person who um, moves quickly and is cutthroat. Like I say, some people see the King of Swords as somebody as cutthroat, um, does things, everything they do by design. So that could be good and it could be bad. So it just depends on who the person is, um, who they are at heart, right? Um, they would be, it could be a fire sign or an air sign. But you also, like I said, have an emperor in your energy. Um, they would be, this is like Aries energy. This person would be very confident, ambitious. They would be very masculine, divine masculine, very structured, very controlled. Like they would be opposing personalities, if you get what I'm saying. One would be opposing, one would be structured, and one would be wild. So basically, like you're at the top of the wheel. You've got a choice. You've got these two options here. So tell me more about this Wheel of Fortune. All right, so yeah, you're moving on from some problems when you get this, as you have this Wheel of Fortune here, of course, because you're at the top of the Wheel of Fortune. You can have the world, right? The world is your oyster at the top of the Wheel of Fortune, but you have to be careful of who you try to take with you on this journey because you are at the beginning of a new stage in life and you are a different person. And so, what I'm getting here as this is starting to unfold for me, this timeline of information, as this is starting to unfold for me, is that I think this King of Swords is energy that you already know. I don't know that much about them yet, but this is someone that you know. This Emperor, I think, is new. Maybe you've met them at this point in time, but you don't have a history with them. This King of Swords is somebody that you have a history with. And so you have to be careful based on the Six of Swords who you choose to take with you on this in this next chapter of your life. And remember, you've changed. You are a different person than who you were when you were dealing with this King of Swords. And this King of Swords is expecting you, when you were with this King of Swords before, that's how you became this Nine of Wands when you were this wounded warrior, right? So you had to learn to be careful um, about how much of this energy of this person, this King of Swords, that you allowed to be a part of your day to day life, how much of their energy that you took on, or how much you allowed of their, how much of your energy you allowed them to siphon, put it that way, because this person enjoys a struggle. They wanted you to be struggling, they wanted you to be the wounded warrior. That's why you have to be careful about which of these two energies you choose to take with you on this next chapter, this next journey of your life. If you choose wrong, you wind up with a lot of argument, a lot of chaos, a lot of tension, because the problem is going to be, if you choose wrong, you choose a person who is not going to be prepared to deal with a divine feminine who is an empress, who is going to make more money, who is going to be more driven, who is going to be more successful, who is going to have more, be more, do more. And that's going to be a problem in a relationship. That King of Swords is not going to be able to deal with it. Tell me more about the King of Swords, please. Yeah, see, I think what's gonna you're gonna wind up having to have an intervention with someone else of higher authority come in to help bridge the gap between you and this King of Swords. If the relationship progresses, because the King of Swords is done, they're not going to do anything to keep up with the progression in life that that you're going through right now. They don't even know the change that you've made. They think you're the same old you that you've always been. You come together with them today, they're not going to recognize you in terms of your personality because you've changed so much already. And it's gonna require that would require an act of God for that to work right now today. It was going to require a bridge, someone else to come in and bridge the gap. It would require counseling. Hierophant came out. It would require somebody else to bridge the gap between the two of you to make that even palpable today because you've changed so much and that person has not. You've grown so much just from the last regular interaction that you guys have had already, and you are in the process still of leveling up. And they haven't. They're not. They're not changing at all. Tell me more about the Emperor. And this person, I don't know. This person is trying to. This person wants to drive a wedge between you and this Emperor. If they find out about it, they will. Can I, Emperor, please? That's crazy. Too many cards, please. Info about the Emperor, please. I don't know, Virgo. You might be blocked. Are you blocked about this Emperor because you've got some fears, but you don't need to have fears about this Emperor. I think that um, when the time is right, everything will be okay. I think you're blocked still because of this King of Swords from the past um, that you don't want to. I think you don't want to put the time and the effort into it right now because you've got this other stuff that you're trying to deal with, and that's fine. I understand that. But you can take your time. I think it's okay for you to show some interest, put it that way. Yeah, Ace of Cups, bottom of the deck. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. It's okay for you to um, dabble in the expression, the show of some emotion. You can have that relationship. You can take your time. You don't have to like rush right in, all in, exchanging rings and all that stuff. Like you can express some emotion in that relationship. I think it's a safe place. I think you deserve something soft and something gentle. And I think that this Emperor um, can be that. This Emperor is a divine masculine, and I think he can offer you that if you are willing to show some softness. I think he can offer you a soft space. I do think though that you got to be careful of this King of Swords, and I understand your leeriness and your wanting to be um, overthinking the situation and not wanting to allow that openness of your heart. But it's okay. I get it. What else about Tell me more about this Emperor. Yeah, you can celebrate your success with the Emperor. What else was there? There is a Queen of Wands situation. That's the Queen of Wands here. Somebody else who maybe knows this Emperor or knows about this Emperor that you can maybe talk to about him, or a Queen of Wands that you who knows your situation that you could talk to. Um, but I think that maybe they can help you see the what I'm trying to explain if I'm not explaining it right. But I think you get it. I think you are not completely blocked, but I do think you get what I'm saying about your guard is up because of um, this King of Swords. And I mean, I don't blame you. Like, what a I don't blame you because the King of Swords wanted you to deal with some stuff that wasn't necessary. But anyway, I get it. But the Emperor wants to wants you to reach out for the help you need when you need it. Like they want to be of service to you when you need it. So I guess what I'm trying to express is that this Emperor and this King of Swords are not the same person by any stretch of the imagination. They are very much different people. Okay. All right. Let me see what else I can find out about um, something else about this Emperor. I'm trying to soften this for you, which if you watch my videos, you should know this is very different. I'm usually like fussing about the King of Swords and not really talking about the Emperor because the King of Swords is who I'm leery of. Tell me more about the Emperor, please. Okay, there's chemistry. There's chemistry between you and the Emperor. There's passion, attraction, spark. What else? What else about the Emperor? I hope the Emperor is not an illusion for cloud and judgment here. Okay, those two cards came out, cloud judgment or bluff. And that doesn't happen with an Emperor, so more likely than not, that's still coming out about that King of Swords. That's that King of Swords, no doubt. Yeah, that chemistry. That's that king. That Emperor's got. That Emperor wants you pretty bad. That sexual energy. This is definitely this King of Swords energy came out over here on this side with this. So, and I'm pretty sure that they fed you a lot of illusions and kept you unbalanced and distorted, which all of that came out over here with them. So there's no doubt in my mind that this is about the King of Swords, this bluff, this pretending, the mask wearing, this exaggeration, the clouded judgment. All of this has to do with this King of Swords, this chemistry and this lusting, um, sexual energy. This all has got to do with this Emperor. So right, my dear queens, my empresses, my divine feminines. Um, you are on your journey. Stick to it. If you've learned the things you need to learn, it's time to return back to your everyday life with the lessons that you've learned. Continue to ascend. Do what you do. Um, I love you. I'm glad you're here. If you've enjoyed anything that I have done here, if any of this has resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share if you know of anyone else who can benefit from anything that I'm creating here. I very much appreciate you and the time that you spend with me. I appreciate your time. And until next time when we meet again, which will be very soon, you know what it is, right? Love, peace, and chocolate, Virgo.